hello. Am I? No. How y'all doing? It's 4 o'clock. Are you hanging there with me just for 8 minutes? So I'm so grateful and excited to be here to talk about my global pitch project. It's called Core Capacity Building for Women of Color. How's this work? How do you? I did. There, okay, I'm pointing the wrong way. All right, story time, just really fast to give you a little bit of these Mexipino festivals are popping up. They're really intended to focus on Mexican and Filipino small businesses, et cetera. And I'm like, we don't have one in Northern California. Like, what's up with that? It would be so well up here. So, you know me, I'm not gonna just sit there and wait. So I reached out to the folks who do the community events in the city that I live in, and I said, hey, could we have one of these? I pitched it to them, what it would look like. The community is quite diverse. And 4 months later, we had it. And it was very well attended, but what was interesting in the whole process for planning it was that we noticed that a lot of small businesses wanted to participate, but they couldn't for whatever reason. You know, we thought, well, okay, actually there are 3 reasons. One, they're not able to get a permit. It's very costly, cost prohibitive. The second thing is that even if they had the money, they wouldn't be able, they don't even know how to get the permit. And the third thing is like, there's such a beginning small business, they don't even know where to start. So while we were doing the event, we had it, it was fine, and we're actually having another one in November. Some of the organizers that I worked with, I shared with them some of the challenges that these small businesses had, and they were like, yeah, that's totally it. So we put our heads together to figure out, well, what can we do to provide resources for these small businesses so that they can continue to be in our, participate in our community events. And what we came up with is similar to Tina's project, is really like providing resources, doing networking, and things like that for them. Wrong way. All right, put this way, I got it. So the target audience, I won't read this, there's a lot of text in some of these slides. But our target audience is really small businesses that are owned by women of color. The initial focus would be on Filipinas and Latinas because it goes along with the event that we had pulled together. Another criteria here, or at least a target criteria, is that English as a second language. That really was a big prohibitor for being able to understand what it takes to run a business in our area. And then where we would be looking at are vendors that we've already worked with in some of our events. Why am I, okay. Current barriers, I think this will not be new to folks, but really they're around financial, language, resources, and time, which we all know are 2 of the biggest barriers for a small business. Difficult to understand bureaucratic processes. That's just for anybody. There's just so much paperwork and legality in a lot of the work that we do. And then experience, just recognizing that as a small business, it's a constant learning journey. Some myths and opportunities. Some folks might say to me, well, you know, there's already resources available to these small businesses out in the area that we work in, so are you trying to replace it? And really, the opportunity here is that we're not trying to replace it, but we're trying to supplement it. Really focusing in on communities that need that a little bit of additional support and being boots on the ground working with them. Theory of change, lots of words here, but what it's basically saying is, we would be working with vendors, understanding what their needs are, catering some of that support to their needs, and then giving them opportunities to practice what they've learned in those workshops and the community events that we're involved in, watching their business grow, and as we all know, as small businesses grow in our community, we grow with them. So what exactly are we doing again? And here's the description of the project itself. So similar to a trail guide approach, what we would be doing is providing action-driven workshops to support these small businesses wherever they are in their journey. And the way that we would do this is we would have like 1 or 2 90-minute workshops throughout each year, and they would be by cohort. And by cohort, we would describe them as, where are you in your small business journey? Did you just start? Are you a few years in and you feeling stuck? Are you feeling really good where your business is, but you want to bring it to that next level? We'll accommodate that. Again, the topics will be based on vendor needs and assessment, and the biggest thing is that it would be language appropriate. So if there is an opportunity to provide interpretation or translation services for these workshops, we want to do that. Oh, let me go back. Estimated total, is that a 5-minute thing? I got 3 minutes. Oh, okay, so the estimated cost for this is about $44,000 total, with the 4 expense categories being around workshop development. The biggest one is around interpretation and translation services. It's quite expensive. Some logistics around doing the workshop, and then doing the program design and evaluation. Okay, let me skip through that. Okay, so here's a team that's going to be working on this. In addition to me, off to the left, Morgan McRose, who's Executive Director for the City of San Leandro. Her job is really to support a lot of the small businesses in our community. Tatiana Aguilar is with West Coast Makers. It's a community event producer. This woman's amazing. She produces some of the biggest food festivals in the San Francisco Bay Area. So if you're ever up in the Bay Area and you go to a food fest, she's probably throwing it. But between the 3 of us, we've all decided that, you know, we want to support a lot of the vendors that we work with, and we feel that we can do that. So my call to action here, 3 things. Looking for any expert advice. Have you done something like this before? Do you have any lessons learned that you could share with us? Do you have any tools or templates or things that we could use for our project evaluation? The second thing is, if you have a network in the San Francisco Bay Area, do you know someone who would be interested as a program participant in this? Or maybe somebody who might be interested in being a post-pilot champion. The other thing I wanted to mention is the 2-year project is a pilot with intent of bringing it forward to local entities or finding someone who wants to continue on this work. And then the last thing is fiscal support. Really, funding in any amount is going to be helpful. The idea, though, is that we would get a lot of the funding through sponsorship and volunteers, but, you know, every dollar helps. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh, was there something else?
Just my, why do I not on? It was just my anyway, you can keep talking while I try to talk. What is going on with this? Okay, it's just, yeah, if we could advance, there you go. No, to the next, sorry, to the next slide, 2 slides. One more, next. Here, this is my QR code. This is just my contact information, but please feel free to use the one on the table.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ilani. All right, great. A question to Rosita.
What is your target amount?
Target amount to raise for the whole thing, $44,000 for the 2 years. Thank you.
Hi, I'm one of the organizers for the Philippine Festival in Mississauga.
Oh.
It's a very, very successful event. It's a 2 days activity, and we are very successful in helping new entrepreneurs, small vendors, and everything. It's a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
We can help you in terms of how you can get funding from the government. What do we do? How do we go about it? How we tie up with the different entertainers, because we bring them for free, because that's how we call people to come. So we have about 100,000 people that come to the event,
Yeah.
and who are the benefactors and who benefits a lot are those small vendors.
Yeah. Oh my, I've been sitting next to you the whole day and I didn't.
I was asking you what's your project.
I was like, I don't know, we'll talk about it later.